What up, guys? Slayer Dan here, and I've been working on a little project for quite a while actually, and I think it turned out really cool. I got it right down here below my house here on HoloCube, and you can see nice little entrance there, not really much to it, and it looks like, oh yeah, we got real killer using the system right now. So check this out. Check that out. It's every single color you could want of wool. And the best part about this whole setup is all this redstone, I designed it. I designed these little modules, which is what we're going to be working on today, and I'll show you how they're built. But check this out down here. It's a little storage area. Just down here, it's all the colors right there. Every single color just comes down here. I mean, there's not going to be much wool in here right now because I just now finished building it. And I got, of course, killers up there getting some red. And it's going to take a little while to get them all filled up. I mean, it is AFKable. And you can see the clock right there, the etho clock, going back and forth. And that's what that room is. It's just to show off the clock. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I could have just made it a solid wall, but I like to see my redstone. I really do. It looks cool. At least I think so. So let's head on over to the redstone test world, and I will show you how it's all put together. Welcome to my redstone test world, where I started to get this thing all where I needed it to be. I used designs from other YouTubers. I believe it was Snocrash, and oh, who else was it? I think I saw somebody named UnderdogLP also doing stuff like this. And basically, they're just using the first setup that I saw was the ladder. You know, using a ladder, which I believe Pi is the one that came up with, to get the sheep to go from point A to point B and back to A. And that was working a little bit, but it's like, okay, I need to mess with it a little more, and then eventually I found the Underdog guy, UnderdogLP, and he had a little slime launcher. And the slime launcher was cool, but I needed it to be a little more compact on the redstone. Don't mind this mess. I built an etho clock, and it's just like, okay, that'll work. I'll use it for testing all of my designs. So this is just a giant, mess. But the main thing we're going to be looking at today is this right here. This little module. There's not much to it, really. It fits in a little 3x4 area, and it doesn't really even take that many resources. Resources we're going to need, it looks like, let's see here. 1 slime block, 3 stairs, 1 iron door, 2 bits of redstone, a sticky piston, 1 redstone torch, a lever, 2 furnaces, that way or any immovable block that you really want to use, those are just the cheapest, 3 droppers, 1 observer, a hopper, and a piece of carpet to put on top of the hopper so you don't fall in it. Okay, so let's get this thing built up. We are going to start this whole build right now with the piston. The sticky piston can go right there, and that right there is the slime block, of course. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to have a block right there with a piece of redstone dust next to it. Throw another block on top, and this right here is going to be our power source. Let's go ahead and power it up. Throw down our immovable blocks on the side there and right on this side here. That's where they need to be. We're going to throw the observer, see if I can get it to place, pointing that way. Okay, so once the observer's placed, we can then not do that. We can then put 2 blocks here with a piece of redstone dust on top. I'll explain what that redstone dust is here in a second. We're going to need our droppers. Whoa, too far. They're going to come up like that and then over 1. We don't need this bottom one there. Our hopper's going to go into that right there, and basically that's it. That will, every time this cycles, it will activate all 3 of those droppers to feed us our shears. So now what we need to do is get the door system in. So let's get our door. We're going to need our stairs and our redstone torch. Let's put it right there. So the redstone torch, let's see here. We're going to first put these 2 blocks here, and we're going to put the redstone torch here, with a block there, another block right there, and our door goes right here. Now that right there is going to be to where, well, I didn't want to put that block there yet. This piece of redstone dust here, when we activate this, it'll close the door and start the system. Of course, there's no clock hooked up to it yet, so the system won't even activate yet. We need a stair right there, a stair right there, and then we got to come over here, place a stair, not like that, like that. Reason for that is so when we're outside the machine, we can still activate it, just like so. So that way we can, like, for breeding and testing and stuff like that. But it works. That's it. That is the entire system built. Very, very simplistic. And that's the whole module right there. Almost forgot the carpet. There. Okay, now let's get everything set up for the wool retrieval system. Basically what we're going to need to do here is let's place a temporary block right there. We're going to take our hoppers. Let's see if I can get them placed. Up like so. One into this one, right there, and one into that one. Now this is going to be where the sheep actually are. So let's just kind of do a real quick mock up here. That's pretty much as far as I'm going to go for right now. And then we want to go up 2 high. And this is going to be the next level where the sheep are. There we go. Grab our hoppers again. We're going to come back down this like so. Put one there and one there. Now we want these to feed in to each other here to where they all line up and go right down to here. Now the one I built, this one goes all the way underground, but there's many ways you can take it, anywhere you really want to. But you have to either go straight down or underneath this setup here. Let's see here. Okay, so now that's the whole retrieval system there. We are going to want to place glass going up this way, and then glass going up this way with glass right there. Okay, so now let's get this part here built up like so. There we go. And this, I do the double glass like this, that way I can breed sheep inside the system. I mean, every once in a while they glitch through, but you know, it's gonna happen. But there we go. And of course in these little corners here you can put whatever block you really want. I mean, you can fill it with glass or whatever, but just to make it a little easier on the eyes, I just put a couple of those there. Okay, so that's the wool retrieval system. Now let's get all the water and everything placed in. The water stream part of this is actually pretty straightforward. It says build this up a little bit here. There we go. And we're going to want the water to come from here down. That way it just pushes the sheep across. So we're going to need a sign right there and a sign right there. That'll put the water there. And then under here, this will keep the sheep moving forward. We're going to put a sign there and one right there. So now we can actually add our water just like so, and right up here should flow down. Nice. That works out really well. Now we just got to make it to where when they're jumping up they don't hit their head. You don't want them to hit their head. It's just cruelty to animals. Let's see here. Actually, we can just do that. We don't need all this extra glass here. Just like that. Yeah, they gotta jump up, come down, maybe come out a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll close it off right there. This thing can also be extended as far as you want. I mean, the limitations that I had was very small, and it can be a lot more efficient by making this just a lot bigger and adding more sheep. But this is it. This is pretty much all you do. And then you just need a way for the sheep to get back down to this level, which will just be a drop chute. Not too bad. Let's just throw that in there. Okay, so now a drop chute. I don't want the sheep to land, well, somewhere. Let's build this up. We'll build this around. We can come all the way up like so. Nice little tube for them to go in. And we're actually going to want to extend this about to there. That way, let's see here. We're going to put a sign there. A water source is going to go here, like that. And then we can just build up the enclosure, and that is the chamber. Now, this way, as they come through here, they'll get jumped up by the piston up into here and just keep cycling around, eating grass, and loving what they're doing. Now, another thing we're going to need, I liked to use sea lanterns. They just looked cooler, but you need light over this grass so it grows better. But you're going to want to make sure that your light sources are in a good spot where it's the most efficient. And torches weren't working, especially if you tile these things, because remember, you can set these side by side and they'll work just fine. But that right there will keep all the grass growing, and I think that's it. That's the system. Now we just got to get the clock system powering it. Truthfully, you could use just about any kind of timer that you really like. But the one I found that works the best for what we're doing is, of course, the hopper timer. And this was made by Etho. It's a very simple setup. You basically just need to run sticky pistons in like so. Actually, what it is you use the hoppers that control these comparators. That goes into this block, which will power this redstone, which will power the sticky pistons. Ta-da! And that piece of redstone. Now, coming out of it is the fun part. Is you're going to need 2 repeaters, one of them on 4 ticks. Come on down here, and we're going to run the line from those 2 over to this. A big important thing is that has to be a half slab, so it doesn't accidentally power your hoppers as they go down. It depends on which direction you end up going with them. But other than that, you can just use any block you really want, just like so. So let's go ahead and do this. Dust it on up, right on over to the system, and that will power the system at all times. Now, let's see here. We're going to want a total of 8 items in there. I found that to be a nice magic number. But we're going to want to be able to shut this off. And in order to shut it off, what we're going to need to do is have an inverter, like so. That'll power and lock that hopper. From there, we're going to want to come from this signal here. Let's not do it that way. Let's go out a little bit and into right there. So let's see how. We're going to need a little bit of this here. Little dusty. Into that. Into a repeater to power this block, which will shut off that torch. When that torch shuts off, it'll activate the system. So now what we're going to need is we're going to need 8 of these. Let's just divide that up like so. And we're going to put 8 items in that hopper. It'll activate the system real quick. Just like that. And that should work. There's only a few other things that we got to do real quick, just to make sure that, everything keeps going when you're AFKing. And that would be, we've got to add a chest right on top here to dump a bunch of shears into. And those shears will go right into the whole dropper system. Let's see here. Oh, and one last thing. That way, when you're AFKing, you don't get attacked by mobs. And, yeah, that is definitely it. We're just going to throw some sheepy in here. Let's throw one there. Oh, one there. Yeah, one there. The ideal number is basically you're going to want 2 sheep for every grass block that they can eat, which would be that center row right there. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on top and 7 on the bottom. So what is that, 15? So we're going to want 30 sheep in there. And with the 30 sheep, that should give you enough wool for, doing whatever you need to do. Let's hop down here and load up our inventory with just random stuff, because we only want that one block, that one open slot right there for when we're shearing the sheep. So we get our shears, we come on into the system, hit the button, and I don't think there's going to be enough of them to come towards us. So let's see here. We can make them come towards us. Easy enough. Here, sheepy. There we go. Okay, so now we can just sit here and shear the sheep. It'll sit there and throw them up like that, and we can go AFK. You'll have to look online to figure out the whole AFK thing. I believe it's you have to go into full screen, hold your right click, exit full screen, and get out of the game. And I'm not really sure which F3 command it is. Oh, let me see if I can think about it. I think it's F3 and P. That would be the one that'll allow you to actually exit the game without it pausing. But that's it. And as you can see, it'll just keep cycling us new shears, and the whole thing shuts off with just one lever. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's, like I said again, it's tileable, and everything fits in just that little 3 wide area. This whole thing could be anywhere you need it to be, and yeah, I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.